Good morning and welcome to Coffee and the Word. Have you ever talked yourself into a problem? You know what I mean? Where you just keep talking and you eventually cause a problem that might not have been there yet? You ever said something out of anger that you wish you could take back? You ever spoke words over somebody that you certainly didn't mean? That's today's verse. And the title is Be on Guard. And I want you to understand something. When it comes to the words that you use, you have to be on guard. Sometimes it's like it just flies out of your mouth before you knew it was going to happen, and you feel like you've become a victim of your own mouth, right? Here's what the proverb writer says in the 13th proverb, verse 3. Those who guard their lips preserve their lives, but those who speak rashly will come to ruin. And so he uses two different variables, right? He says those who guard and those who rashly. And so the concept of guarding something means you're protective of it, right? You're preventing it from just from being vulnerable, and so he's doing something that might make it vulnerable. And so when you read this, he says, those who guard their lips preserve their lives. There's an old saying, and I'm sure you've heard it, loose lips sink ships, right? The whole idea there is people who go out and they just start talking and to just, trying to impress or whatever the case may be, they oftentimes tell things that might hurt their crew on their ship, right? And, I told you a while back, and I wasn't even going to do this one because we did the whole sticks and stones may break my bones, but I realized this passage is a little bit different. This passage isn't about being careful not to use certain language or declare certain curses. This passage is about being careful how you communicate. And that's what he says. In fact, here's how the Message version says it. Careful words make for a careful life. Careless talk may ruin everything. And anybody who's ever been in a relationship remembers a time when they said something they didn't really mean at a time when it was vital that they not say it. Or maybe they didn't mean it at that moment, but it was a momentary time. You've heard of I was just venting. I was just blowing off some steam. Well, those times are what ruin things. Let me ask you something, because I want you to see this from two different perspectives. Do you have some things that are in your heart and in your head somebody has said to you that you can't let go of? That you can't you can't grow past? Like it seems to keep you stuck. Guess what? You've probably done that to somebody else too. And so the proverb writer is writing this as kind of it's a proverb. It's a life lesson. It's something that you should know. And James makes it very clear. The rudder is a powerful, or the rudder, the tongue is a powerful tool. And it has the power to destroy, but it also has the power to bring life. Not just to those on the outside, but yourself as well. In fact, dare I suggest that the life you ruin more than anybody else's with your mouth is your own. You say things over yourself. You allow things to come out of your mouth about yourself that should never be uttered and would offend you greatly if anybody else said it. Let me encourage you this morning. Be careful with your words. They are far more powerful than you imagine. And they have power to bring life, and they have power to ruin. That's some power. Idle words are never as idle as we believe them to be. So when you speak, the scripture says, speak as the oracles of God, right? Another passage says that your conversation should be full of grace, seasoned with salt. Don't be a victim of what comes out of your mouth. Be the master of your words. Be careful with your words. They can do more damage and build more up than you ever could imagine. So I'm going to challenge you to do something today. Speak only words that are meant to edify. So, no matter what it is, speak only words that are meant to edify. Maybe, just maybe, you'll save your life. Anyway, it's Friday. I haven't been doing this on Fridays, so I want to remind you, you are all personally invited by me to a little event we're going to have Sunday, starting at 9:30. We're going to have a Bible study on the book of Revelation. If you've not caught up, don't worry about it. We have every bit of it online. You can go catch up, look up Blind Guy Bible Time under this channel, and you'll find Bible class after Bible class after Bible class. Please, go catch up and then join us for Bible study, 9:30 a.m. And then at 11 a.m., we have our service, our worship service. And I want to invite you to be a part of that too. And if you were waiting for an invitation, I just personally gave it to you. If you're worried about where you're going to sit, come sit with me. Though I sit on the front row, that's not a real churchy place to sit. Church people like to sit as far in the back as possible. And I used to think this was a bad thing, but what they're doing is they're guarding me from back there. That's why they sit so far back. It's not because they're trying to get as far away from the pulpit as possible. And so, anyway, I want to personally invite you to come join us this Sunday, 9:30 and 11. And just, if you come at 9:30, you get about 30 minutes to fellowship with people and get to know people. And it's really an awesome opportunity to build a community with us. And so you're cordially invited by me. I hope you'll join us. God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend. This has been another edition of Coffee and the Word.